Okay, guys, this is another book I like. It has to do with Bruce Lee. Oh, Bruce Lee. Bruce Lee, improve your life with lessons, strategies, and tactics. Tactic, strategies and tactics. Strategies, tactics from a visionary ahead of his time. By Kyle Stone. That's my name, Kyle. Kyle Stone. I always thought it'd be cool if I wrote a book about Bruce Lee too. His name is Kyle. That'd be cool if I could ever talk to this guy who wrote this book. It's only it's only 55 pages long. So it was like $10 on Amazon. But it has some pretty good lessons in here about life, from Bruce Lee. He believes that we shouldn't waste our time with life. If you love life, never waste time. Waste time. Never. Don't procrastinate. You know, um, stuff talked about. Let's see. Yeah. And then you talked about showing off is the foolish man's notion of glory and stuff like that. Talking about take care of your character, um, yeah, stuff like life is meant to be lived by the moment, and knowing that your past does not define your future. Your future comes as a result of the things that you do in the present, right now, at this very moment. Um, Stuff They talked about Bruce Lee said that nationalities are unimportant in life or in combat. When a teacher tells you that he will teach you the Japanese way of doing things, one offers to teach you the Chinese way of doing things. That's basically nonsense. A man, regardless of whether he's Chinese or Japanese, has only two hands and two legs, unless he's able to grow an extra pair, then there could be no different way of fighting or living. Bruce Lee did not tolerate racists. In 1964, he built his second school in Oakland. He received a scroll threatening him to stop teaching Kung Fu to non-Chinese pupils. He was challenged into a fight in which he won. So I don't know if maybe that's why he died, because he was threatened by teaching Kung Fu to non-Chinese pupils. There's a lot of conspiracy about his death. I'm if he was probably poisoned but I think he died of a cerebral edema, his brain, the late 1950s signaled a new beginning in Bruce Lee's life as he became involved in more street fights. His mother decided that for his own safety he should return to the U.S. to claim his American citizenship before his 18th birthday. With a heavy heart, Bruce left Hong Kong and the States. He went to school while working odd jobs and teaching martial arts in backyards. Well, So like, I like how he said like nationalities are unimportant in life or combat. Like, so like nationality doesn't matter. Like, yeah. But Bruce Lee was birthed in November 27, 1940 in San Francisco's Chinatown to Li Hoi Chun, an actor in the Cantonese opera, and to Grace Ho, a beautiful Chinese German lady was from a wealthy Hong Kong clan. So like, I also like how it says Bruce teaches that one should stop trying to find an answer to life. The only way to understand life is to understand it from one moment to the other. I know we keep finding an answer to life, but I think that really damages us. We're trying to find purpose in life. Like, what does life mean, anyways? Yeah, it's really good. Like that, we should stop trying to find an answer to life. Yeah. Um, hmm. and learning to live contentedly with small means, pursue elegance rather than luxury, and seek refinement over fashion. Instead of attempting to be respectable, strive to be worthy, choose to be wealthy over being rich. Study hard when you think, do it quietly. When you talk, do it gently, and when you act, do it frankly. And I like how it shows like making tips to achieve simplicity in life. Like it shows like make a list of the important things in your life. Prioritize them for the most. Prioritize them those from the greatest importance to the least. And reflect on how much time you spend on these things. You might be spending more time on these things at the bottom of the list. So like also talks about like how in today's society we spend too much time, like just just texting and watching YouTube videos, and like talking about we should like be, like spend more time reading books, and then just talked about Bruce Lee always loved reading books all the time, like by himself, like, and he always liked to walk outside in the rain, and it really helped his mind, like with tranquility. Because he liked the noise of rain. Like, I like when it rains sometimes too. Like, it's really calming. I like how he said like, like fame is like an illusion, and like he was in Hollywood, and like how all these actors like, just like maybe he didn't really care about the fame, like he just wanted to be the best he could be. Everybody can be trying to be the best they can be. Like, and like it talks about how you can apply martial arts to business, and like, you know yeah, action is the ultimate high road to self-esteem. So, and it talks about how, like, money. Like, yeah, I think we should be, like, not wasting time, in today's society. Like, a lot of people are just wasting their time. Like, you've seen it from computers all day. And, I mean, I do that too sometimes. It's, like watching YouTube videos all the time. And I should be reading my books more and, like, like, I guess, because the only way to become rich is to, like, expand my knowledge. And Bruce Lee is a great teacher. And like, he always liked to read. Like, I heard that Bruce Lee owned over 2,000 books in his house. I mean, I wish I owned that many books. Like, I only own like 200 books, and so, like he owned like 2,000 books in his house. So it pretty much shows, like, how he was such an avid reader. And yeah. So when he was 27 years old, I'm 26 right now. He opened a third school in L.A. with Dan Inosanto as his secondary instructor. By that time, he was so busy with his flight back and forth Hong Kong. Yeah. But he paid a lot of money back in that time to study. He charged a lot of money, like, for people to, like, if they want, like, martial art lessons. He charged a lot of money for people to be taught. And, like, they did talk about how much he charged them. How much money he charged them, like how I talked about, like, like, talked about, like, every day we have 80,000 thoughts every day. And I think about how many thoughts we can use to achieve a goal every day. Like, every human has 80,000 thoughts every day. And if we can use those thoughts for positive, we can do, like, really good. Like, the average human has 80,000 thoughts every day, and that's a lot of thoughts. Like, so, we said, basically, the hourly rate for consultations and instructions was $275, and 10 sessions would cost you up to $1,000. So Bruce Lee would, for 10 sessions, for Bruce Lee, if you want him to teach you 10 sessions for a fighting lesson, you had to pay him $1,000. That was pretty big bucks during his time. Nevertheless, Lee never ran out of students. Never ran out of students because he was the only one who could teach what he was teaching. He was the only one who could teach what he was teaching. Wow. I mean, it would be cool if I could ever, like, learn martial arts and, like, charge people money and for something. Well, it said, like, humans come with the average of 60,000 thoughts daily. More than 90 of these thoughts are mere repetitions. 80% of the repetitive thoughts tend to be negative. If you want to succeed in life, you need to direct these thoughts to what you want to achieve. Wake up in bed and think of your ultimate goal, then in your head enumerate your smaller goals for the day. The simpler goals are the ones which will eventually enable you to achieve your greater goal. These are the tiny puzzle pieces that make the big picture whole. Yeah. Yeah, it's a little book, but it has some pretty good lessons in there, like his Bruce Lee's like history, like like where he was born, and like yeah, the lessons and the like how he like achieved all that stuff. I mean, like he was only in his 30s when he died. I mean, that's pretty young, but nobody in their 90s ever gets to achieve that much. Even though he was in his 30s, like nobody ever gets to achieve that much success, even in their 90s. Like like even though he died young, but somebody even their entire lifetime never gets to make a movie and be starring in a movie. I mean, like Enter the Dragon movie made a lot of money. Like Enter the Dragon money made a lot of money when it came out, and it only didn't cost that much to make that movie. Like I believe Chuck Norris said it only cost a couple $100,000 to make that movie, but yet it made like millions and millions of dollars. Yeah, I mean, if you think if Bruce Lee was still alive, he would have been. And if Brandon Lee was alive today, like I wish I could meet him and Bruce and his wife. I wish I could meet Shannon Lee, and I wish I could go to Hong Kong. Like, I have my sister-in-law's from. She was from Hong Kong. Like she. But Bruce Lee was not born in Hong Kong. Like he was born in San Francisco, in Chinatown. So yeah, if his son didn't die, Brandon Lee, like yeah, he would have been, like very famous today. Like Bruce Lee was, if both of them didn't die, like they would have been very famous today. Like what they would have taught us, what he would have taught us if he were still alive today. Like what else he would have accomplished. Like if he did that just in his 30s, like imagine what he would have accomplished when he was in his 70s today. So yeah, the legend. You should get this book. It's only $10 on Amazon.